Hi, this is Miguel Castro, and welcome back to Building End-to-End Multi-Client Service-Oriented Applications, Angular Edition. In the introduction, I mentioned that I was going to be writing a car rental system as the case study for this course. As I stated earlier, the reason I chose a car rental system is because that kind of business typically has more than one point of entry for software, a user side and a customer service side. The customer typically accesses their software through a website in which they can do things like make reservations, view history, manage their account, things like that. CSRs, customer service representatives, usually have some kind of desktop app in front of which they sit all day doing things like booking rentals from reservations, accepting returns, etc. The back end of this system will be driven entirely by WCF, and it's going to be exposing its API to the internal intranet, which will drive both the website and the desktop client. Remember, in a web application, the IIS server is the client itself, and that still sits inside an intranet. Any further reach extension of any services would be handled by a web API layer. The customer-facing website will be written entirely in ASP.NET MVC in combination with AngularJS. This combination is going to give us a real rich user experience and also limit the trips back to the server. The desktop client will be written entirely in WPF, which in my opinion is still the premier platform for writing rich desktop applications. And in case you haven't heard, is still a technology that is alive and strong and will be further improved by Microsoft. The goals of the application I'll be writing during this course are several. The first one is to demonstrate good technique and practice for implementing connectivity among all the different layers that comprise a service-oriented application, how things talk to one another, how layers communicate with each other, and using what kind of components. I'll also be showing and demonstrating different patterns as well as dependency injection, which will be used throughout the entire system on both sides of the wire, the business side and the client side. And a good byproduct of this is that it's going to effectively make every layer of my application quite testable. I also want to make sure that I maintain a certain level of cleanliness and elegance in my code and how the code is laid out and stored. Everything from code design patterns demonstrating good separation of concerns all the way to something like folder structure all contribute to ensuring that the system remains manageable now and also as it grows in the future. Also, I feel I should mention this application is also my reference app. This is what I use to provide myself with sort of a kickoff point for the creation of new applications. It's worked continuously for me in the past. Hopefully it will continue to work so in the future. It becomes a test bed for technology and patterns and techniques that I want to constantly add to my developer's arsenal. Think of it as my version of AdventureWorks, only at a larger scale. So what I'd like to do now is give you a quick demo and teaser of what it is that we're going to be building together in the upcoming modules. So I just want you to sit back and relax while my friend Carl Franklin keeps you musically entertained.